Hey, everybody. Sorry I'm a little late. Had to make sure that my microphone was working good. If you can hear me, put a one in the chat. Lots to do today. And I mean lots to talk about. Hey, my shed lines. Brooke, wilted lettuce. Brooklyn. Brooke says hello to our lovely hostess, Miss Eve and Mr. Eve. Thank you. Need to make sure that my chat's working today. Let's see. It says hello to our lovely host. Awesome. Okay, you can hear me. Great. So today has been like a whirlwind, just personal. I don't know what's going on in the universe, but I go to a doctor's appointment for little baby Jamie, and I have to cancel it because deliveries and there was no doctors and no practitioners. So it's just been like one thing after another. But as you know, I always have time for Michael Vaughan. And some recent stuff happened that I need to address because you know that I won't take too kindly to being quote unquote called out for something when they don't even know the context when it comes to Michael Vaughan's case and the backlash that I get for covering it and just covering it at all. The irony of, don't tell me how to run my channel, and then they tell me how to run my channel. Like, no, that's not how it works here. You don't pay my bills. You don't cook my food. You don't have a say in shit. And that's how it's gonna stay. And if you don't know what sleuthing is, believe me when I say being accurate, doing your research, doing all of the things to make sure that you're not crossing boundaries. Like, for instance, the whole drama with Zab Girl, right? Zab Girl and some other creator who truly is exploiting a child by buying those photos of his case, his body, and putting them on the internet for profit. That is horrible. Do not condone it. I do not like it. It's horrible to me. Do they have a right to do it? Obviously they do. Does it make it right? Not to me. But I am nothing like that. And the audacity to compare me to that is disgusting and gross. I would never, I don't bring pedophiles up to my live like Perp Phoenix over there. I don't cash in on at all. I don't cash in at all on specifically Michael Vaughan, but any missing child. So we're going to address those claims from Brandi, Neal, and Perp Phoenix. That's her new name, Perp Phoenix over here. Mr. Eve says, little Eve has been retrieved. Good. Good. Tell him hello, and I will see him soon. So let me go into chat before we get into catching everybody up on the Michael Vaughan case, where we're at right now. If you haven't seen it, I have about six videos. It's kind of a series just specifically talking about Sarah Wandra and why she's in jail right now. The next series, Stacy. The next series, Brandon. The next series, Adrian. And the next series, just wait. Can't show you all my cards because it's going to tie some things together. Really is going to tie some things together and might cause a stink. And I think that that's why I'm getting the backlash that I'm getting, specifically from Michael Vaughan's mother. My God, they had a team meeting with the family about it, about content and a tweet. Nobody asked you guys to watch my content. Nobody asked anybody to have an opinion on it. You can have one, but Nobody asked you to come and watch my stuff. I specifically have said many times, if you don't like it, don't watch it. You might be offended. And look, it happens. We offend each other. We're humans. That's what we do. But you're going to just have to deal with it as adults. Because when a missing child is not found after 2 years, or almost 2 years, excuse me, almost 2 years for Michael, you're going to get heated. I understand. It's a very touchy subject, missing children's cases. But that does not give anybody the right to tell me how to feel, think, etc. Not a single one of you. I love my supporters. I love my subscribers. I love my members. And if you feel like you have to take this legal action that you keep threatening people when someone pisses you off, Brandi, Neal, do it. Do it. But I think that you have bigger fish to fry. And I would really hope that you would focus on other things besides me and carry on. Carry on. So that series that I put out had no slight against anyone. And we'll go over the videos quickly. And then the Perp Phoenix Brandi Neal bullshit and a little bit of the lab bullshit. Just, we should treat Brandi Neal differently because that's just how I run my show. And I agree. Like, do you, boo-boo? And it's the same over here. You do you, I do me. You have your opinions, I have mine. Cater to whoever the hell you want to. I don't care. But y'all need to start listening to what I'm actually saying before you open your mouth, right? Like any creator. So, again, I'm going to go back and chat, see who is here. I got a big spike in people. Imagine that. Thanks, haters and subs alike. Appreciate you. Go ahead and hit that like button while you're here. Might as well. Might as well. Lurkers in the back. Where's our bingo card? How many times did we hear that? Oh, Lord. Hi, Nico. Hello, hello. Hi, One Life to Live. Who else am I missing besides Mr. Eve? You already know. I think I didn't miss anybody. G girl, I did. Sorry. My girl. Thank you, Julia T. I try, but sometimes, man, they just can't let a sister breathe, especially a pregnant one that with feet up in my ribs right now. Dang. This baby will not give me a break. I guess I deserve it. Woohoo. She bought it for $3. It's selling on Patreon for $3 each. Oh, yeah. That crazy woman. I can't remember the name of the woman that's selling those autopsy photos and case photos. It's disgusting. I would never. Hey, Tammy. I would never. That does offend me. You know? Like, look, I didn't wait 135 days to talk about Michael. Brandi Neal did. Nationally, on a national level. But that's okay. That's all right. Burn the building. Burn Fruitland PD down. Tyler had nothing to do with this. Remember that recording? That's okay. Everybody has yelling at Buggy. That's okay. Eve having a fucking opinion. No way, Jose. Get the hell out of here. You evil woman. Vile. Gross. What's gross is having your minions try to kick somebody off of, well, successfully kick off searching for missing children. That's fucking disgusting, if I've ever heard of it. I'm pretty sure Mr. Eve would be in the front, center, no problems, no qualms. Teddy bear, I don't give a shit. Wah, wah, sissy, la, la, it doesn't matter. Mr. Eve would be right there. Holding hands, and facing the world for our son. Right? But nope. It's all different. It's different. It's Brandi. It's different. It's different, y'all. The rules are not universal, apparently. Turned into a sideshow like a shirt. Yeah. Amen, sister. Amanda, thank you. It's not like I write the crime stats. And it's not like I said any of the stuff that Brandi was recorded on. That's not on me. It's not on me. It's not my fault. Feelings, I get it. I get it. This is your son. I get it. We're past that. It's 2 years. Yes, family members are victims. Protect them by not watching me, because that's why they know about me. You. As the mother and the father over there, it's your job to protect your children. And if they're watching me, that means you're talking about me and you're not focusing on the right things. Mind your business over there and do what you got to do and let me run my life. 2 years. Enough. All right. So again, I have a little series. I know that it's a lot, but I have a feeling. Let me just tell you the reason why I did this. I made this series for Sarah Wander because, first of all, a lot of people still think that she is, yeah, you see that right there, that monetization button where it says off. Here's your proof, bitches. Off. I don't make money on Michael Vaughan. I don't make money on any of these missing children or missing persons. So anyway, the reason why I do this, Sarah Wandra's got charges all over the place, right? And I want people to understand the tactic that Payette County prosecutor is placing on these people, especially Sarah. Then we'll get to Stacy. I also want people to understand that the Wanders are not new to the Vaughan family. I don't know why I don't know why they're so afraid that people know this, which is sus in itself, but whatever, I don't care. I'm putting out the facts. I'm putting out the facts. And if the facts conflict with what you are trying to spin over there, I can't help you. I want to help you find your son, but I can't help you if it's just a slight against me just because I put out information. I did not ask you to go to Sarah Wandra's trial. That's the only reason why I recorded it. You decided to come and sit in front of Kay, her mother and father. I think that's a little disrespectful, honestly. But whatever, I digress. Because these charges have nothing to do with Michael at all. I have a feeling that there may be somebody within the charges that are not involved, but we'll get there. Oh, dope. Thank you so much for as I'm sitting here saying, I don't make money. Literally, Dope is the only one, besides a few others, that has donated. And look, I'm not asking for it, but I'm very appreciative, and it's very rare. But Dope, thank you so much for your donation. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. You are the bomb. She really is. Dope has a heart of gold. And no matter what you've heard on the Twitter streets, she really does. Making that money today. Good. I'm losing it. Poor Mr. Evie's like, God, can this woman please? Yeah, you mean that public hearing, Brooklyn. Thank you. We'll get to this, okay? There's these little innuendos that a lot of you aren't going to understand yet. But it's funny. It's because I've been uh, there's a conspiracy theories from Dree, I think, especially, and some other people, Callie Dime or something. You know, how did she get the link to watch? Did you dox yourself like I am some spy that came in and grabbed and stole a link and lied? Stop it, y'all. Learn how this works before you start doing all that and crazy shit. It's so funny. I can't. I feel bad for making fun of it or making fun of them because they just don't know any better. Don't know how things work. So anyway, let's go quickly through these videos very quickly, I promise, because I know a lot of you have already watched them. But there are people that are going to be on the replay, so they need to see this if they don't know about it. And then I'm going to kind of explain a few things before jumping into the llama drama. All right, let's get it started.
True Crime Eve.
July 27th, 2023 will be 2 years since Michael Vaughan vanished from his home in Fruitland, Idaho. After a year of little progress, Police Chief J.D. Huff stated new leads have brought them back in the area, which was stated on July 22nd, 2022.
My wife called me and said, yeah, there's something going on behind the house. I live over off a block behind them.
Okay.
And I had heard some activity over there.
He said he heard activity, and that's what we heard when we were out here earlier, too. Alex, you've been out here since around 1 o'clock this afternoon. What else did you see?
You know, neighbors' homes have already been searched. The neighbor we talked to said that his home was already searched. He allowed them into their home. They searched his garage. They searched everything. And he told me that they showed him a picture of a scooter, a kid's scooter, and they might have been looking for that. And that's what he thought, he found very interesting, was that he said he hadn't seen it.
And as Shira said earlier, the parents' home only 4 minutes away, and that is the area on Southwest 9th Street in Fruitland where Michael Vaughan, also affectionately referred to as Monkey, was last seen. And as we've been covering this story, there have been searches across the country, his picture, his information on the side of semi-trucks all over the country just searching for him. And the fact that we are back here just 4 minutes away from the parents' home, perhaps looking for his remains, as Chief Huff said, just shows how close to home this situation really was.
How significant was that when you saw police right at the beginning put out their faces, their names, and not call them suspects, but say, we do want to talk to you?
So it is out of the ordinary for law enforcement to state the names and also show the photographs of individuals that they're looking to question, looking for information, but not saying that they're suspects or had anything to do with the abduction or the death of Michael Vaughan. Because as you can see towards the end of that press conference, the law enforcement chief Huss was saying that we hope that you do contact law enforcement so we can be able to talk to you, because they do have information to believe that they were inside of the house at some point during the time period of Michael Vaughan's disappearance, but they're not saying that they had any involvement in the abduction or the death of Michael Vaughan. So it's a little.
Okay, so this defense attorney, I like getting both sides, but the defense attorney at the time when this came out, in November of 2022 or December, she was like, they're not suspects technically. So it is very strange for, JD Huff, and then you have Chris McDonough behind him Juanita Toll, Keller, and Crimin, I think, back there, and some others to the right, with these faces. It's very strange. It's not normal. And my Shedlines, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. She says, not as much as dope, but want to appreciate you for all you do. You cover Michael's case with facts, not speculation, and it matters. Thank you. Really appreciate it. Mr. Eve says, maybe I should do this too. She already has my wallet. I don't necessarily have your wallet. Little Eve does, okay? But, Will, to let us, I'll answer your question here in a second. So it's very strange. And I thought that too, right off the bat, like, wait, you think at this time in December, when they did this press release, they're not technically suspects, but they feel like they're involved in it, or they know more about it. It's very strange. And again, let's reiterate why Sarah Wander was arrested in the first place. Spewing her nuts, crazy, God told me somebody did it. And we all know that's what it is. Now, does she know more? Possibly. Mr. Eve sent a $50 super sticker. Thank you. You goofy man. I don't think he knows that they take like 35%, 40% off, and YouTube keeps it. But we'll talk about that later, Mr. E. But you're sweet. It doesn't matter. It's fine. Thank you. Thank you guys for the support. I really appreciate it. So, getting back on track. Mr. E will fuck up, right? Right? Thank you. So, why are they doing this? Is this a tactic? I feel like it is. I feel like the reason why they did this was on purpose. Very strategic for whatever reason. I think maybe this man right here has some explaining to do. Madonna, you have some explaining to do. But he won't talk because, of course, he was involved in the case. I would like to know about those rocks, homeboy. If you ever have a chance to talk about those rocks, great. Because I know that you know that I know. Oh, Brooke. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Much love to my followers who have been here from the beginning. I really love you so much. Thank you. So what do y'all think? That's just how I feel. This was a tactic. Cold Case Foundation comes in, ruffles some feathers. Brandon Shirtlift, the one on the bottom right, is already been talked to, and then now his face is on the... What is going on, right? So let's finish this one.
Little bit out of the ordinary, because usually you wouldn't put out the names and photographs of eyewitnesses or witnesses to the public because it can cause harm to them. But I think the reason they did it is to put pressure on them to come forward. But at this point, if they were to come forward, I would suggest that they get an attorney to represent them when they go to talk to police, because at this point, look, you put my name out there. I don't know if you're looking at me as a suspect. You're not saying you're looking at me as a suspect, but that could be, so I don't lawyer up.
So, boom. I think she nailed it. I think that attorney said they want you to act a certain way so that you don't do this and this. That means that you have a very weak case, in my opinion, and you're waiting for something to happen. That's just my opinion. It doesn't give me a lot of hope, especially being 8 months since the excavation, guys. That doesn't give me any hope. So here is Prosecutor Mike Duke for Payette County, Chief Huff, Crimin, and some dude. I really don't know who that is. But he's on the scene. Prosecutor's on the scene. They're trying to work some things out. This is why I'm very sketch on what's going on right now.
How did we get here? Who is officially charged in relation to Michael Vaughan's death? Only one person, Sarah Wander. However, there's more to it.
Twitter, weasels for monkey.
All right. So let's go to the second one. This one I'm going to speed through a little bit because I can explain it with a little bit more like summary, I guess. Where's my library not popping up? Fine. Why haven't warrants been issued? Thank you. There are so many questions. Amanda says you can't arrest them, but blast their name and photo. So definitely a pressure move. Right. It makes sense. It makes sense. Like the time or window of time to speak is now. Boy, bye, Huff. You know damn well that is not how it works. Criminals be criminalizing, and they do not speak unless you make them. You know what I'm saying? And if that's the case. But I get it. I mean, it's cute. It makes the public feel like you're doing it, you know? And I understand. Tactics are tactics. But the evidence, though, gotta have it, right? Gotta have it.
So, how did we get here? Who is officially charged in relation to Michael Vaughan's death? Only one person, Sarah Wandra. However, there's more to it.
After several weeks of digging up the backyard of a home in Fruitland, police said today during a news conference they did not find Michael Vaughan's remains.
Said, quote, they strongly believe that Michael was abducted, buried, and then later removed from that Fruitland property. But the question now is where this is Sarah Wandra. She was arrested earlier in November for failure to report a death, and she is currently being held in the Payette County Jail.
Ms. Wandra, you are charged.
We remember this
footage. On or
footage.
about the 12th day of November of this year, in the state of Idaho, failed to notify the coroner of a death, the death of Michael Vaughan, with the intent to prevent or discover of the manner of death. That is a felony here in the state of Idaho. Do you understand the allegation that's been made against you?
Sorry. I think my internet went out for a second. Sorry. Let me know if you can hear me. Put a 1 in the chat. Somebody's trying to hack my stuff because I don't like it when I have an opinion. Okay, good. Someone literally was trying to. Yeah. So anyway.
According to court documents, police forced entry into the Wondra's home around 9:30 p.m. Friday, where they found Sarah Wandra in the living room. She was detained and read a copy of the search warrant. When I got to the portion that read murder, she said, "Did you just say murder multiple times?" A Fruitland police officer wrote in the affidavit. She also said, "I have never murdered anyone." Sarah Wandra maintained that she definitely did not kill that boy and said the Most High God already told me who did it. She reportedly told police. Oh, wow. The Most High God just told me that Stacy was the one who killed him and buried him in the yard of the neighbor's house. She said her husband buried Michael in the backyard by the shed, but wasn't the one who actually harmed the boy, she said. Instead, that a man identified only as Adrian had been the one that had done it, and he was scared to tell anybody.
So the leaked probable cause affidavit that you heard from Sarah Wandra's arrest has details that have been omitted by the media who leaked it. And I can only assume that this is because, quote, it could jeopardize future proceedings considering the public nature of the case, aka protect the informant, aka protect the tip. Due to the obvious ramblings from Sarah Wandra, the judge...
So this is Sarah Wandra. JLR obtained this from a neighbor. I don't know exactly when it was, but it was before the excavation. Uh, she wasn't doing too hot. Just want to let y'all know. Obviously. Is there a picture of me in the driveway mimicking this? Yes. Yes, there is. And I'm not proud of it, but it was a personal funny thing because I think we've all felt like a Sarah Wanderer before who just wants to lay on the concrete and just not. But if you ever see that picture, my apologies.
The judge ruled on an order of commitment and for a competency evaluation. Fast forward 4 months, they terminate the commitment, say that she's ready to proceed, and then dismisses the charge.
You're Sarah Wanderer, ma'am?
Yes, Your Honor.
In this case, this morning there was filed by the state a motion to dismiss case 1769. All right, let's take up next Kimberly Douglas in case CR 3823142.
Chat's popping. So her statements are self-incriminating, right? That's why they were dismissed. It violates her Fifth Amendment right. Doesn't matter if her claims were in reality or not at this point. Failure to report a death, it is a very tricky situation where self-incrimination is you're protected. And no matter how you feel about it, your rights do matter. And they don't want to jeopardize, justice for Michael if, in fact, she has something to do with this.
However, there's more to it.
Yeah, that too. Thank you, Eve. Thank you for finishing my own sentence. Appreciate it. Let's go to 3. Matter of fact, I'm gonna skip 3 and go straight to. Well, no, because that's the funny part. Dang it! It's so funny. The dog bone. The dog bone's so funny. To me. I'm sorry, it is. Tanner Butler. So this is where Tanner Butler comes into play, right? And this is important to me because he was there. And he was friends with Brandon Shirtliff, one of the 4, for 2 years. So let's watch that.
True Crime with Eve.
So Sarah's charge has been dropped and she's free, right? You see, before her charge was dropped on April 17th of 2023, the prosecutor for Payette County refiled old charges from 2022 unrelated to Michael Vaughan that they dropped. So going back to what I was just talking about, where they can drop charges and refile them as they see fit, as long as they don't go to trial, that's what happened. So what happened in 2022, and why did they refile charges? We'll go over that event with 2 sources. The first one being Brandon, the one that was on the poster that police wanted to speak with. Brandon went on an interview with JLR Investigates right after the excavation started. And this is his version of events.
That's what Stacy and Sarah said themselves, is that they did it or they were involved in it or they know who did.
Interesting. Do you know any names or other these people? Who are they?
One of the people that went to their house before was Tanner Butler. I just looked at my Facebook page now, and his name's Tanner Butler. He was staying there with me and Stacy and Sarah at the time. Like all 4 of us were roommates.
Yeah. So, yeah, go ahead.
And then I guess the whole thing on how this started was the fact that Sarah, like, kind of threatened him or, like, told him, get out of my house and don't come here no more because you were drinking. and I don't want you to be a bad influence on my poor little husband, Stacy, blah, blah, blah.
So
So,
yeah, and that was the incident earlier this year, April, around the beginning of April, right?
So there was some contention between Brandon and Stacy at this point because he was saying, you know, oh, Sarah is basically trying to protect Stacy from being influenced by the guy with the tongue sticking out here, Tanner, and him. And this is what I feel. This is my opinion only. I feel like, you know, it was Sarah's and Stacy's anniversary. And these two boneheads on the left and right, Brandon and Tanner, didn't give a shit. And they wanted to party and they wanted to drink and wanted Stacy to join in. And Sarah was like, no, this is my time. Like, no. And you're not following my rules about drinking in the house. So you don't want to respect me. I'm not going to respect you. Get out of my house. And things got wild. Brandon was there that night. And Brandon jetted. Because I guess he was trying to take up for his boy Tanner. I understand. I get it. But Sarah was like, you got the wrong one. You must not know.
Got arrested?
correct.
Who got arrested?
Sarah did. Said that she smacked her with a dog bone and said, get out of my house right now or I'm calling the cops. And that's what started everything.
How?
And right when that happened, me and her got in an argument as well. And I got my little van and I left and went home.
But wait, there's more to it.
So, yeah. Sarah wasn't playing with these jackals. This was her anniversary and she popped off. There's been many times where Sarah said, do not drink, do not smoke, do not do drugs around me in my house. We're not going to use our fake taxi business to do drugs. I mean, like, that's pretty damn good to me. Like, I think that's honorable. Now, did the people around her, like her husband, do that? Or abide by it? I don't know. I don't know. We're almost there. And then we'll get to the drama llama. Because I know y'all are ready.
So what happened in 2022 and why did they refile charges? Let's recap the last video I did of Brandon's version of events and then jump to the actual police report.
One of the people that went to their house before was Tanner Butler. He was staying there with me and Stacy and Sarah at the time. Like, all four of us were roommates. Sarah told him, get out of my house and don't come here no more because you were drinking. And I don't want you to be a bad influence on my poor little husband, Stacy.
Who got arrested?
Sarah did. Said that she smacked her with a dog bone and said, get out of my house right now or I'm
Hi,
calling the
Val.
cops. And that's what started everything. And then right when that happened, me and her got in an argument as well. And I got my little van and I left and went home.
Now, if that wasn't exciting enough for you, there's more to this.
Probable cause statement. On April 13, 2022 at approximately 1859, Fruitland officers were dispatched to a report of a disturbance at 1102 Red Wing Street in the city of Fruitland, which is located in Piatt County, Idaho.
Before I continue with this real quick, I need your personal opinion. With the reaction, okay? Put a 1 in the chat if you feel like it's very warranted to know charges on people who may or may not be involved in a missing child's case that are unrelated to the actual child. Especially when they put their names and face out there. Put a 1 in the chat if you would love to know those kind of details and appreciate those details. Or 2, no, not relevant at all. I want your opinion. Would you like to know what these charges were? 1 in the chat, 2, doesn't matter.
While en route, dispatch had received at least 3 different 911 calls related to the same incident, one of which suggested that a firearm had been pointed at one of the subjects. Dispatch advised one of the subjects, a Malk, was supposedly in the backyard and the female involved was in front of the house. I arrived on scene at approximately 19:04 and located a female standing in the street. Ms. Wondra informed me that a man who had been staying at the home for the previous week had become belligerent and refused to leave. Wondra said.
And Brandon, remember, he said that Tanner got drunk, was drinking in the house. But Tanner was like to the police, I'm fine. It's not that. It was about dinner. We've escalated to getting hit with dog bones and a gun in my face because of dinner. Boy, bye. You know damn well it wasn't about dinner. But you did get a milk bone for dinner, didn't you?
That her husband was also in the house. I asked her to call him and ask him to come outside. A male emerged from the open garage, later identified as Stacy Wondra. We made contact with the other male, identified as Tanner. Tanner was compliant with officers and willingly disarmed himself of his pocket knife. When asked what had happened, he said that he had been invited to stay with the couple and had been living there since the previous Wednesday. This was apparently the Wondra's anniversary and somehow an argument had started over making dinner. At that time, Butler advised that Sarah started bumping into him and yelling at him and then struck him in the head with a dog bone. Butler showed me a small scrape behind his car. Butler said he went
ear. A small scrape. Boy, if you don't stop bitching.
To the room that was designated as his on the northwest corner of the residence and shut the door. Soon after, Butler said that Sarah had retrieved a pistol from somewhere in the residence and pointed it at his head at close range. Butler at one point said hysterically that he had had guns pointed at his head before, but never by anyone that crazy.
What? That still trips me out. He's never had somebody that crazy pointing gun at his head, but other people have done that. Like, I'm still tripping. Tanner Butler, wherever you are. Well, I know you just got out of jail in Washington, but anyway, one day I would like to hear your side of the story if you'd ever oblige. I'd love to hear it.
Oh wait, there's more.
We're gonna jump to part 6. I think that's the last one anyway. Yeah.
So what happened in 2022 and why did they refile charges?
Right,
Please
Brooklyn?
go watch part 5 of Sarah Wandra's arrest in 2022 if you haven't yet. So quick recap. Sarah is arrested because Tanner and Sarah argue. It's her anniversary with Stacy. Sarah then hits Tanner with a dog bone because he won't leave and then threatens him with a gun. Cops didn't find the gun, so they clear the scene. They both want to press charges on each other, but it doesn't happen. So cops leave. Now we're going to get into Sarah leaving the home before cops came to hide the gun at her parents', which she placed in a purse. Her parents live 4 houses down. Tanner tells cops about Stacy selling a rifle the day before to a gun shop in New Plymouth, which is 15 minutes away. So once the pistol is retrieved from Sarah's parents' home, she gets arrested on 5 counts.
Butler at one point said hysterically that he had had guns pointed at his head before, but never by anyone that crazy. He said he shut the door and immediately called his mother while barricading the door closed.
Ma, the meatloaf!
Based on previous knowledge that both of the Wondras were prohibited from possessing firearms, the holster was seized as possible evidence. Butler stated that Stacy Wondra had even sold an HMR-17 rifle to a private buyer the day before and completed the sale in New Plymouth, Idaho at a gunsmith. Officer Harrell stood by with Butler while I spoke to the Wondras. I spoke to both Sarah and Stacy about the allegations regarding the gun. Both denied any knowledge of the gun and said there were absolutely no firearms in the residence. I told Stacy that I had been told he had just sold a firearm in New Plymouth the day before. Stacy admitted to doing so but said he had been accompanied by his friend Brandon and the rifle belonged to Brandon and not him. After clearing, I contacted Detective Toll, who advised that Sarah's parents lived around the.
Excuse me, I need to make a correction. She is no longer Detective Toll. She is Detective Keller. My apologies. This is the lead detective on Michael Vaughan's case. Have we had our issues? Yes. Has she gotten on other people's nerves? Yes. Is she close to Brandi? Yes. That is all.
The Cumber Detective Houghton met with Sarah's parents Edward and Kay Ramsey. Eventually, Kay advised that Sarah had brought a purse containing a firearm and had told her what had happened. The firearm was recovered and identified as a black high-point .40 caliber pistol. Later, during an interview with Detective Houghton and Officer Harrell, Sarah admitted to hiding the gun at her parents' house because she knew she was not supposed to be in possession of a firearm. Officers returned to Stacy and Sarah's address to secure the residence in lieu of a search warrant. Stacy granted consent at that time to search the residence. In the residence during the search, Officer Harrell located a purse belonging to Sarah. Inside the purse he located 4-acetaminophen/hydrocodone with inscription T259 that was listed in the drug Bible as a Schedule II narcotic. These pills were located in clear Ziploc baggie. Sarah later admitted to having a previous prescription that was no longer valid, and she kept the pills.
So jumping into 2023, yes, they refiled 3 out of the 5 charges because 1 was a federal crime. And the charge of battery, which was a misdemeanor, was dropped, aka the dog bone incident.
Pow!
Clear as mud? So there is a number of takeaways to consider, but these are the most important ones that I could think of. The crawl space and property was searched before the excavation, which was 6 months before.
That is so important to me, y'all. This is so important. This part right here is the meat and potatoes of everything that I had made in this series. This is what I wanted to get at. Think about this. The crawl space and the property was searched before the excavation. Was there something that tipped them off? Was it something that I don't know. I'm having a hard time understanding why that did not trigger something at the time. Or maybe it did and it took that long to get an excavation. I don't know. Put your comments in the chat or down below if you're watching the replay, because I really got to know your opinion on this. You know, there was misinformation or information that wasn't confirmed being spread around by LaWanda Westbrook, who is the PR rep for the Neal's Vaughan family. Michael. And there was evidence found in the crawl space. We don't know that. We've never heard that, from police. So we have to take it for its lack of value. But they searched the crawl space. You're telling me that they didn't see anything suspicious? They contacted Detective Keller, aka Detective Toll, who is interesting to say the least. And she didn't think to say, hey, go ahead and check. Make sure you keep Michael in your noggin. No. The police were in the backyard where Tanner was, crying like a little baby. Hysterical, in hysterics. Okay. Kind of like what Candace said, Grandis. She was in hysterics. So just think about that. Keep that in mind. How long did Tanner stay on the premises after Sarah's arrest? I think that's important too. Because Sarah was in the old jailhouse. She didn't get out until July of 2022, mind you.
How long did Tanner stay on the premises after Sarah's arrest? Who else stayed in the home while Sarah was in jail on her federal charge? And what all changed from April to July 2022 when a Vaughan family member knew about the Wandras? Oh wait, there's more.
Pow! There is more. But it's going to be a new series because now we're jumping off of Tanner and Sarah and going into the Vaughns and Stacy Wandra and then Brandon and then Adrian. And the reason for that is because that's just how it is. I can't say anything right now, but that's how the flow is. Do you guys think it's very suspicious that me putting out these just mere facts of what happened over there at 11:02 in April of 2022? We had Brandi Neal showed up at the courthouse, then getting mad at me for recording the hearing that she so happened to be in. Do you think that's a little suspicious that she would be You just need to stop. Stop. I do feel like it's suspicious. And the more that I dig into, not just me, but a group of lovely women who really care about Michael and his justice, the more that we dig in and the more that we expose, the more weird shit starts happening. And I'm not kidding. All of a sudden, the recordings with the phone with the recordings start to become an issue. All of a sudden, people get blamed for calling CPS. I have not once called CPS. I'm Brandi Neal. And if they took it seriously and called you and it made it a big stink and you're upset about that, I have nothing to do with that, first of all. And second of all, got to question that about why that's affecting you. But it's very odd. I'm going to tell you something. Again, in May of 2022, when Sleuthy Goosey exposed the search that we were trying to work with Fruitland PD with, I was trying to also figure out if there was a planned search with EquiSearch so that I didn't overstep my own boundaries because I was part of EquiSearch. That was when they went full-blown attack mode. Oh my God. It was bad. Got my EquiSearch membership terminated, which I'm not complaining about it really. I'm just explaining. So don't go there. That's what happened. Right after all this shit was going down with Fruitland. Very interesting stuff. And the Wanderers, Fruitland, and But like I said, what happened between the time Sarah went to jail in April, the charge with the deadly weapon charge got converted into a federal charge. That's where she went, held up in Canyon County, or maybe Washington, one of the two. I think it was I don't remember. She didn't get out until July on release, July 2022. She's still fighting that charge. Who was there? Because guess who else was arrested? A month later after Sarah, Stacey Wander was. May 10th. Either 6th or 10th. We're not really sure. One of those. Probably both. And he was gone. He has not returned. So who are all these people coming in and out of that house? Because the next live and the next few videos that you're going to see have a list of names. Fruitland PD, if you're listening, there's a lot. There's a lot of names. But since I don't want to listen to nobody, we must cover the case. Right? Is it dangerous? Yeah, it is. It's dangerous shit. These are druggies. These are big druggies. Do they have connections to my people around Michael Vaughan? Absolutely they do. Absolutely they do. Hence why I think the sus activity going on right now is scaring a few people. And I understand that. I'd be scared too. So, Val says, when people threaten, it's clear sign they're scared. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I understand the fear of not knowing what maybe a content creator is going to do or say, especially when they're a little bit like a pressure cooker, like me. But that should not scare someone into retaliation and making other people retaliate because of their son's missing case. Like their son being missing. Like, I just don't get it. I don't. But it doesn't matter because I'm not your keeper. I'll still fight for Michael. And it's never going to change. So let's get into the drama. You're going to hear exactly why things are popping off again. I'm going to go to Twitter real fast so that everybody can understand the context of why someone was very upset with me. Brandi Schmiel. Very upset. I understand. I'm a very easy scapegoat to beat up on when things are going on and I'm just doing what I do. I'm ratchet. Okay, real quick to ease into the drama with some comedy. I posted this today as, Eve, you're a ratchet evil person covering the facts of missing persons. Me in third person. And it's Jamie Lee Curtis. There is cuss words. Sorry, there's F-bombs everywhere, so just know that. But this is me in third person.
I'm unclear as to what the fuck people are on about. She is a fantastic talent. These people should shut the fuck up, back the fuck off, and let this woman just shine her light, because she is fantastic. I'm unclear.
I mean, really, I am unclear, though. Let me do my thing. Really good at it. Lenny says, reminds me of all the threats of a neighbor in another case. Lenny. Ding, 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 ding. Wasn't the babysitter attacked in this case? 110%. That Detective Keller that I talked about had to call her friend, who her sister bought land from. Her sister sold land, to this crazy woman named Crystal, who is actively trying to be right in the case. And Brandi don't even like her. It's weird. Had to call her to tell her to simmer down over there. Crazy lady. It's just weird. Is that funny, Mr. Eve? Anyway, sorry, I just had to go there. Lighten the mood, if you will. So, all right. Get this tweet up. All right. All I said was, interesting footage there at Sarah Wandra's hearing. And look, I didn't know Brandi was going to be there. I really do not stalk this woman like people think. I literally get sent things that look suspicious. I check it out because I'm a person, a human, and go, all right, cool. Either thanks or not. Yeah, or it's nothing, or holy shit. I thought it was interesting that at the end of the court proceedings, Brandi I don't think she knew that this bailiff or court officer was coming up to her, but he was on a mission, bruh. He was like, let's do this. He was walking up. Now, mind you that this is the ex-hubby of Brandi's fam. So, not directly related, but of course, in a small community, you got a 90% chance they fam. Or friends of fam, or family friends, or friendly fams. I don't know. But he was on a mission, okay? And I thought it was interesting. Like, what is he doing? Excuse the hell out of me for being curious. My God. So it was a handshake, clearly. But it did look like, and there is video footage, but God forbid I play that for you. Jesus Christ. It was odd. Shook her hand. Apparently, Brandi, you'll hear her say it was camaraderie, but there looked like there was something in his hand. So I just thought it was interesting. I didn't bring up a note. Somebody on the tweet did, so you were wrong, Brandi. Somebody asked about the note. And I said, it could be. I thought about that. But I never said it was, so calm yourself. Don't jump to conclusions. Open your ears and your mind. That was what my mom used to sing to me as a wee baby. It's how I am the sleuth I am today. Just kidding. I don't know what that was. Jeep Girl says, Lenny, truth. No one here has accused these people of anything. Yeah, I've accused you of being sus. I've accused people of being suspicious and not telling the full story. There was a Peter Hyatt. I always bring this up. It was called Unattentive Guilt. Unattentive Guilt. This dad was high as a kite. Didn't realize that his daughter had wandered off. She was like 11, I think. Or maybe younger, excuse me. But she got abducted. She was abducted and killed. And he was high. I couldn't figure out the times. Couldn't figure out, So he looked super suspicious. Everybody thought he did it. Well, no, he was just high as a kite and neglectful. That is what I consider, some as an example only, not saying anything about Tyler, just saying that those are the examples that I would use as not being fully honest, if you will. Ruby Rose, girl. So that's what you're going to hear about is this little bitty tweet. Andrea, don't like my shit. Go eat your feelings, leave me alone, and get off my Twitter. Mind your business. Didn't you go tell me to go F myself once the excavation started and we're still at this precipice where nobody's charged? Thank you, ma'am. Sit down. So let's listen to this Brandi shit. Get that over with. And then we'll go into Perp Phoenix's bullshit. So I am going to skip the first part about the Zav girl, Brandi's. I agree with her. I think it's weird, gross. I don't like it. Autopsy photos of a young child should never be released, in my opinion. That's not released for profit. That's true tragedy pimping. It's gross. It's horrible. And that's just me.
Like 5,500 off the lot, had 75,000 miles. It was an Impala.
Another car was coming, so I was stopped, and I.
You're gross. You're gross.
Yeah, gross. Yeah, gross.
And the people that are doing this to other families as well, ours included. You're gross.
Yeah, gross.
It's disgusting. And you have no right. I pray for that family. And if I can do anything to stand as strong as Landa did and does, and the grace that she shows, and oh my gosh. And many of these them, let them have their peace, let them grieve, let them have their rest. Their family,
yes,
and loved ones and friends. Now I'm gonna switch it up just a smidge.
Switcheroo.
Michael Joseph Vaughan went missing on July 27th, 2020.
My Shedlines, the bingo card, bro. You said 10 minutes and then talk about Michael. It was 10 minutes and 30 seconds. Girl, we need an applause because she nailed that bingo card. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry about it. I just wanted to call you out and shout you out because you're good, girl.
He was abducted between 6:40 p.m. and 7 p.m. There have been 4 suspects listed, named, photos shown. I have asked to show Michael's picture and to be supportive to law enforcement, our community, and our family. And there's a creator out there that
It's me. She's talking about me. Oh, I forgot to do the hand claps. Okay. I'll play the hand claps for both me and my shed lines. One moment. I'm pretty sure I can find it. Well, this is probably more appropriate.
You need to stop. Do you know what it's like to sit in a courtroom and watch a person that allegedly, potentially, harmed your child and knows information on your child and your little innuendos and your little jobs?
My jabs are straight jabs.
I
They're not
didn't want to
innuendos.
address you. I did not. And I don't think I should have to.
Then don't, honey. Look, baby girl. I'm trying not to. Because you actually give me a lot of grief without even talking to me. Promise you that. 1.5 years of sleuthing. Tip giving. Tips that I know damn well helped. It's interesting that you know which ones worked and didn't. That's very interesting. But you don't know shit about the positive things that not just me, but many people have done to slow your roll, girl.
But look what you're doing, because right now, in my opinion and my family's opinion, the road that you've gone down, love, honey, darling, you and your little friends, you're good.
The condescending. Oh, she's cute. She's very cute. I get it. Fight fire with fire. Because that's my tactic, being kind of shitty like that. It's cute.
You know, you're evil. And I am afraid and worried that your evilness is going to hurt others.
Did y'all hear that? My evilness. My evilness is going to... I mean, I didn't have friends that destroyed your friends from searching for missing children. You did that. You did that. I didn't have friends go and bully people at a bar because they didn't like them, the babysitter, and destroy her life. Try to. Nobody. I didn't do that. I would never. You did. You did. Screenshots all day. Guess who's at the bar tonight? Maybe I should send someone to deal with her, right? That's not evil, because it's Brandi. But you see, the more that I talk bad about Brandi, the better she gets, right? Because I'm the bad guy. I'm the bad guy. Duh. Then she brings her daughter into it, her eldest daughter, who is affected by my words. Please do not watch if you're watching. This is not for you. It's not for you. I know that you want to protect your family too, and this is not how it's supposed to be. You deserve the best. Y'all deserve your brother home, which is all I'm trying to do. So please, don't. And don't let all the craziness going on about the drama between me and your mama make you bitter. Because I'm not your enemy. I promise. But it's not okay to mimic the behavior of a mother who is upset on how I try to advocate for her. Michael Vaughan, who has been missing since July 27, 2021. Period. It's not your fight. And I hate that you're getting pulled into it. So I apologize for that. It's not right. It's not fair to you. But hey, I'm kind of doing your mom a favor at the same time. Because the more that I talk about this trauma, the better and more support she gets. It's just the facts of it. But I'm still not going to sit here and lie and take it either. That's just not me.
As you continue down this path, just like what's happening with this poor little boy that deserves respect and to be laid at rest and to let his family grieve. I'm wondering what you're going to do next. What you did on Michael's birthday was despicable.
She says, guys, I wonder what you're going to do next. Did you hear that? That is not normal.
I'm wondering what you're going to do next.
Why? Why are you worried about what I'm going to do next? Unless you think it's good. I do. I think that we're getting the information out to the public that needs to know exactly why these people are sketch. I literally blasted they ass. And you're upset about it. Haven't mentioned you at all. Took a step back to refocus. And it wasn't good enough. Wasn't good enough, never is. Fuck that, y'all. I just can't. I'm not going to do that. Michael deserves better.
What you did on Michael's birthday was despicable and absolutely disgusting. And there's no forgiveness in that. I don't care if you don't like me. I don't care what you think or what our tax-paying dollars are going to. Here.
Of course you don't, because you only live in your own little bubble. And obviously, the neglect of the partner that you chose for not watching Michael is the direct result of strain on that department that you love and adore. And the FBI and the state police, Idaho State Police. You think it's free? Hey, guess what? Did y'all know that I have family in Fruitland, Idaho? I cannot wait for them to try to track these people down. You don't wanna. I have literal family, blood family. And I'm sure you know them. That pay taxes. Who searched? Who've put up flyers in their businesses? Who talked about keeping his name out there? Donating. So some of the money that you received when those bikers at the Red Dog Saloon went to do the auction, yeah, some of that money that went into Bob's account was from my family. So can it?
How many times were resources used for you and your little friends. I'd say lackeys, but friends. Wasting CPS or law enforcement resources.
Sorry, I don't know. Her wind chimes and it's windy out there and she didn't go inside. Because she wanted to protect the men in the household from hearing this. What she said was the tips that were sent in. I don't know how she knows this. You might want to ask Brandi this, or which ones were sent in. But the ones that were sent in, she basically says, talk about a waste of tax dollars. Like, she's assuming that all we did was send in tips about how guilty somebody in the household is. That is like the farthest thing from the truth, actually. The tips that were sent in, I can guarantee you, made notice and were acted upon. Not the recordings and all that shit outside of that. But that's what you want to know, don't you? Those are the things you want to know.
When you don't even live here or in the state.
Honey, sweetie, darling, the FBI is federal. Yeah. Can't get those resources back, sweetheart. But Michael's worth it.
And to see your name, your real name, sitting there up on that screen while I watched that woman walk in physically for the first time. Did you know I was involuntarily shaking and crying?
You put yourself there. I did not ask you to go there. I didn't know you were there. I literally do not care about you as much as you think I care about stalking you. I don't. Literally, people have to shove things down my throat about you, and that is not a lie. Please, in the chat, confirm that, because I sincerely hate having to hear a thing about the drama that spews out of that channel over there, Perp, and when Brandi's involved. I don't care. Well, find your son. I don't care. I'm busy. Got better things to do. The ego, honey, is too much. Take it a step down. Take it a step down. You're on Perp's channel. That is not something to be proud of. So calm it.
I didn't know what to do. I just sat there and I just stared at the judge and stared at the judge and stared at the judge. And you can guarantee I will be there at every court hearing appearance for any of them.
And I will be watching every single one of Sarah's court proceedings that I can. People need to know. People need to know the truth, especially if it's being spun with no update from the police you're fawning over all the time. Bullshit. And you don't run this, honey. You do not get to run other people's case. You don't get to run Sarah's life. Now, I know that you tried to bully her while she's in jail, not able to defend herself against your bullshit and your crazy minions out there. They wanted to interview the ex-husband who beat the shit out of Sarah Wandra, abused her, went to jail for it. They wanted to interview him to slander Sarah. That is evil. That is the most evil shit I could ever hear. To use a DV victim and their ex against them. Yeah. That's true evil. Want to know what else is evil? Threatening to burn down the police station because your man failed some polygraphs. Do we forget this? Did we forget this, y'all? Maybe I should refresh. Some memories.
Kids and saw Michael, but because her mom was following them.
One second. Sorry, guys. It's loading.
Just update people properly too. Update us properly. Thanks. Exactly. Don't let some random
Is that you, Dre?
person like my
Is that you, Dre?
post a paragraph on Facebook and call it a press release. Yeah. I've been pissed off about that since. Yeah. Okay. Wait. What? Just, everyone out there, which was great, looking for him. But at some point within that time frame where mom can't find him, dad can't find him, you're all well, they needed to be like, okay, something really serious is going on here. We're related now. And I was like, Antonita. And she's like, oh, great. Now we're just a bunch of hillbilly pigs out here. We're all inbred.
Okay. No, I won't go there. Go through a lot of things. But I don't want to. I don't want to go there. So we can end this all right now. Right? If we just let Eve go over the facts without any outside backlash just for doing so. I could have put all that shit out. There's so much that I could have put out, and I didn't. I did put burning the police station down because that's a felony. But whatever. I think everyone gets my point, right? Excuse me.
Well, I don't have no words.
I wish you had more or less words. Wish you had 0 words all the time. You crazy witch. Which is actually my nickname, isn't it? Isn't it my nickname? So, guys, what I'm trying to get at is it doesn't matter what I do. It doesn't matter how I do it. It doesn't matter. If I advocate for him in any way, shape, or form, it doesn't matter. This channel is going to be the whipping post that has been created and handpicked for. But I'm really, really grateful for you guys who have stood by me this whole time. Who knows the truth? Who knows that these tactics that are done are just a distraction, and the more that I get the backlash, it really just means one simple thing. I'm scared. They're scared. And I haven't even gotten to the 6 other people who were saying that the 1102 Red Wing, maybe 5, excuse me, 5 other people who were in and out of that house without Sarah and Stacy's knowledge. And all of a sudden, in July of 2022, these, the family of Michael Vaughan, specifically the sister, once again is trying to shame and slight the babysitter for having a falling out with Stacy Wandra. Let me make it very clear to all of you that the babysitter, Jen, does not know the Wandras, does not have anything to do with the Wandras. Stacy merely shared a picture. That's it. A picture that Jen shared on Facebook for Brandi. You know, the one that did the prayer vigils with no help whatsoever. Because Brandi and Tyler were busy with the police. Yeah. The same woman who painted rocks with him and watched him and loved him before the next day he's missing. Yeah. That Jen. That babysitter. You don't fool me, ma'am. You don't fool me over there in Fruitland. You don't. And none of your cronies do either. The only reason that this channel and me specifically have quote unquote made you feel attacked was because you brought it upon yourself, and you need to take accountability. And if you want to be left alone, stop coming over here and watching my stuff. Stop letting your friends tell you about it. And focus on Michael. Because I do this every day. I focus on Michael every day, trying to help. Now, I don't care how you feel I should help. That's none of my business, what you think about it. It's been 2 years. Something tells me that you may just know that I'm wasting my breath. Whatever that is, I don't know. Right? I was going to go over Purple's live about me. I don't give a shit. I honestly, I'm so tired. I don't care. It's Perp. It's Purple Phoenix. Who cares? I mean, look, there was what was it? She didn't even know she was on camera and her eyes were literally like Cheech and Chong. I mean, I don't have to. She does her own sliding. She does her own self-sabotage. Nobody over there has more than 50 brain cells. I don't give a shit anymore. But what I do care about is Michael Vaughan. And if you're scared about the content that I'm coming out with, I don't know what to tell you. You might want to talk to Fruitland PD if that's what you need to do. And your family if they have a problem too. Go do something. Because this online bully attack style bullshit isn't working anymore. It's not going to work. It's not going to happen. You have met your match with stubbornness, my sweet darling. I'm the most stubborn person I know. And I have really amazing advocates on my channel. Having said that, guys, thank you so much for being here with me for an hour and a half. I got to go feed me and this baby and take some antacids because boy, oh boy. But you know, as I say, hug yourself, hug your babies, your fur babies, drink your water. Watch your babies. Call your babies. Keep an eye on your babies. And I will see you on the next live, guys. Justice for Michael Vaughan. It's coming soon. Bye.
Oh, okay, I see. That's what you're talking about. I mean, if you do come across it, don't be too hard on yourself. You're only human. Everybody's only human. So it happens. It can happen. And I mean, if you do find it there, that gives you a path. Oh,
Direction.
thank you. I couldn't fucking get the word to come into my brain.
Tyler and I even walked that, actually. Do you remember the cornfields were flooded? We walked down past there, and there was a vehicle parked on that with lights on, and there was nobody around, and they were out walking in the corn. And we walked down and around. Heather and I walked that. See you later. Okay.
If I should wake, it's tonight. No, there is nothing.